morning, viewers. This is National Orientation Agency, Rivers State. Welcome to NOA Rivers State Dialogue. This program is streamed live every Friday at 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Last week, we began a discussion on building a people of peace. Together, we can overcome security challenges. Now, NOA flagged up an orientation and sensitization campaign since 2016. This campaign is aimed at raising the consciousness of citizens on the need for peaceful coexistence, forgiveness, and others, irrespective of the issues at stake. The campaign stressed the need for forgiveness and reconciliation. Now, we're taking on this topic again today, and I have here with me in the studio our wonderful officers that are ready to take on your questions and your comments. I have here to my left Dr. Peter Emejuru. He's the Deputy Director of Planning, Research and Strategy. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome.
I also have to my right Mr. Gogo Iyari. He is the Deputy Director and the Head of Human Resource Management. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
And to his right, I have Mr. Ellis Iriadapa. He's the Deputy Director in charge of programs. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to our program.
Thank you, Doc. Or I'll start with Mr. Gogo Iyari. What is conflict, and what are the things that breed conflict?
Conflict is a situation where people cannot coexist in a society, live together, work together, because they are not able to tolerate each other's difference, religious opinion, multicultural nature of their society, and of course, every other issue that is different in their thinking and in their general opinion in the society. So they're able to exist or coexist harmoniously in their society without conflict, without violent reactions towards one another. Such a situation, there's conflict.
Okay. So what are the things that breed this conflict in our society?
Well, one of them is indiscipline. When the people are not disciplined, not able to discipline themselves to accommodate others' opinion. That is lack of integrity.
Okay.
Especially among people cannot trust their leaders, and of course there will be conflict. The next is of course social injustice. Social injustice, especially in the area of sharing whatever there needs to be shared in society.
Okay.
Social justice in the form of not giving right decisions or judgment when matters are brought to those that should pass such judgments. All of these things bring conflict, lack of tolerance for each other's different viewpoints, cultural-wise, over multicultural societies, multi-ethnic societies, multi-religious opinion in every society. When people are not ready to tolerate each other's viewpoint, religious belief, then of course it will cause conflict.
Yes,
And of course, governance, bad governance, all of this cause conflict in the society.
Okay. Now let me ask you, Mr. El Iriadapa, what are the effects of this conflict in our society today, or in our communities? What's the effects?
We say when we talk about conflict from this explanation, it means there is no harmony in the society. It means there is no peace. And wherever you don't have peace, there can never be development. So one major implication is that there can never be development in a community, in a society where you have conflict. And investors will not come around that community.
Okay.
It will not attract investors to that community. And that will result to an increase in joblessness. There will be no employment. in that area. And if you look at Nigeria, for example, you see that one of the implications of conflict in Nigeria is the emergence of militia groups in Nigeria, which has resulted into the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. And because people have arms, the least opportunity they have, they bring out their arms to fight. Small quarrel in the society, in intracommunal conflict, they bring gun to fight. Chieftaincy wranglings, they will bring gun to fight. When they have political issues, they will bring gun to fight. Any small issue that can even be settled amicably, you see people bring out gun to fight. This is a major implication of conflict in our society. We also know that when we have conflict, properties are destroyed, lives are lost, people are displaced, people suffer, especially the women and the children. Schools are closed, churches are closed, market closed, and even people cannot even go to their farms. People become refugees even in their own lands. So there are enormous implications of this conflict in our society. Even nationally, it will also affect the revenue base of the country, and government will not have, will be deprived of the much needed funds to carry out development. And above that, you know, Nigeria is a country with many ethnic groups. When there is conflict, it will affect the very existence of the country. It will affect the unity and the national cohesion of the country. So these are some of the effects.
Okay. Now, Dr. Peter Imejuru, I'd like to ask a question. Now that we have heard the consequences of conflict in our society, how has it affected national solidarity and social cohesion?
Now, first, let me say, as a writer, that conflict, as a matter of fact, is serious disagreement, argument, so to speak, and conflict is usually the point of things not going the way it should go, like Didi HRM mentioned it. Now, it is also the way of a society. There is no society that is without conflict. Conflict to me is an oil that lubricates development in any society. Now, conflicts could arise, could be personal, could be as a result of caste, could be a class case, could be international, could be local, but they vary in their patterns. Let me go straight to your question. When there is conflict, when a society is in its theatrical forms, everything is in total disconnect. It's akin to China Achebe's book, and when things fall apart, the center can never go. First, what is social solidarity? It emphasizes the interconnectedness or interdependence between persons in a society, and they believe that these persons can help themselves. Now, it is usually hinged, or you can say that the principle of social solidarity is hinged on shared value and beliefs of that society. They believe that they are one, they can harmonize themselves together. They believe that they can go forward in all ramifications. What is social cohesion? Social cohesion is simply the capacity of the society to ensure the well-being of its members.
Okay.
The capacity of the society to ensure the well-being of its members. Now, recognizing disparity and minimizing marginalization. When a society is in conflict situation that is total inchoate in the relationship of all sectors.
Okay.
In planning, in administration, in dispensation of largesse, it will not be properly coordinated. What I mean by that, when there is conflict, there seems to be disagreement in thoughts. Oh, why is he talking like this? Okay, he's talking like this in order to favor his group. Oh, why is he doing this like this? Oh, he's doing that because, okay, the last time we are arguing, his group, that is why he's telling us. So this issue of conflict has also eroded greatly on the abilities and on sustainability of this country, as a matter of fact. As it were, when there is conflict, social cohesion, solidarity affects the sustainable development of this country.
So it leads to total breakdown when there's conflict. Okay. Viewers, you can start sending in your comments, questions, and suggestions, on this topic. My bosses are here and they are ready to take on those questions, whatever they are. I'd like to go on. I want to ask, has our security operatives played their role in curbing this conflict? Because we know that violence has brought a breakdown in our society. It has affected the health sector, the education sector, development, like you mentioned, has been affected by all this. So, has the security operatives played their role in curbing this?
I would want to say that the security agencies in Nigeria, if you ask me to score them, I'll score them above average. They have tried. If you look back a little, you will see the security challenges in this country, and people were calling on the security agencies to do their work. And if you now look at the society now, there is an improvement in the security situations.
Okay.
It means the security agencies are doing well.
Okay.
They are doing well. If you look at the security challenges we have, like Boko Haram, herdsmen, farmers clash, chieftaincy, tussles, like in River State, court-related activities, you see that it has gradually is reducing, but it's not over. For example, in River State, we have seen the resurgence of kidnapping.
Okay.
But other security issues in the state has been tackled. It has reduced. It has improved. That is my own opinion. It has improved. But you see that among the security personnel in the country, some of them are not driven by the loyalty and patriotism to serve their father.
Okay.
They are not driven by that. Some of them, maybe negligible few, are driven by what enters their pockets. They are driven by ethnic and religious interests. Such people become saboteurs in the system, thus aiding and abetting criminal activities. But we can still say that they are doing well, and the government can also help to improve the kind of things they do to protect us.
Okay.
One, I think the government can improve the general welfare of security personnel. I also think that they should recruit more people into the force. They should recruit more people. If you look at the population of Nigeria, estimated at close to 200 million or even above, and you look at the number of security personnel in the country, it cannot really be. So government should, as a matter of fact, recruit more people to meet up with the growing population of the country. I also feel that the government should also provide equipment, modern equipment to help them fight this crime frontally. And the government should also train, regular training and orientation for these security agencies. I think by so doing, they can serve us better. For me, the security situation in the country has improved actually.
Okay.
But they need to maybe up their game.
Okay, do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree to the targets.
Okay.
Security agencies.
Or do you think think there's still more to be done.
Yes, a man said, you can always do a thing better than you are doing. There's always a better way to do whatever you're doing. For me, I think the area of synergy between the security forces needs to be improved. There must be some level of respect amongst the forces, the security forces, and there also must be a level of cooperation amongst them in tackling security issues. As it is now, some of them don't see eye to eye with each other. Then, of course, there's also the need. The orientation should look at the aspect of synergy, also look at the aspect of the behavior of some of them in public, and the way they address members. It's a pity when you see some of our security men fighting in the public over little issues, over monetary issues. It's also not too good the way they are harsh towards, especially the police that says the people are their friends. So in this area, I think orientation is important. The government should increase in the area of orientation, that should be orientation for the security forces, in the area of synergy, in the area of response and relationship with the external public.
Okay, Dr. Peter, can you add to that? Do you think there's still more to be done?
I think the last two speakers, I said it all, but just to add a little to that, there have to be a retooling. Retooling of what I may call the core etiquette in not just the police, among some of the security agencies. One, there should be a thorough reorientation. You can just see what is mirroring out from the nooks and crannies. So that call that we have to do more of training. There has to be a thorough, what I consider as a reconscientization in the training and communication of the police, of the security forces, and the civilian, as it were, who will ask that there should be thorough civilization, of not just the soldier, of the entire military, of the entire security agencies, because it is not just the police that go out of their way. And sometimes you see some video go viral about either the military or the navy or the army, or go out to pad a bit or to melt their citizens. No, I think there should be this symbiotic relationship between the security agencies and the civilian, as it were. It is, as a matter of fact, the civilians that are the core of intelligence. They are the core of intelligence. If there is no synergy between the security agencies and the civilians, as a matter of fact, I don't think we are going to get a thorough, or what we may call an actionable intelligence. So it is important that there has to be a thorough reorientation in terms of psychology, in terms of philosophy. Philosophy, of course, philosophy is in the physiology and all that it takes to make sure that our security agencies are on the right track, not just performing their duties, but also in relationship with their civilians.
Okay, I'd like to take in some comments now. We have from Bekimbo Williams. He says lack of understanding, fear of God, and lack of trust exists among our security operatives. Institutions lack the willpower to do the needful, with lopsided administration from the home to the top. Therefore, conflict becomes inevitable. There's lack of patriotism. Do you agree, Dr. Peter?
Yeah.
Lack of patriotism, is it on the part of the security operatives or the part of we civilians, you know?
It's a vice versa thing.
Okay.
It's not strictly on the part of the security agencies. It is a go-go way. Now, one, citizens are unpatriotic. Now, you don't expect the policeman to stand akimbo, like they will say, and watch a citizen go outside the rail, crash outside the rail. For instance, look at the morphology of what is happening. Now, you see a situation where our youth have gone haywire into Yahoo thing. It is not getting our country a good name.
Yes, yeah.
You cannot do any international business in this country on your merit, on your name as a Nigerian. But you can do that on your own merit. Because wherever you mention Nigeria, oh, you are such a suspect. Now, you don't expect the security agencies to fold their hands and watch. Our boys are going here haywire, they are hacking all the hackables and stealing money. And then when they are tracked by the security agency, they say, oh, they are killing them. So there must be a midway. We must do the right thing always.
Always, yes.
We do the right thing for this country to move forward.
Yes.
The civilian will have to do their right, the right thing they have to do. The civilian will also do the right thing they have to do. So there must be that medium of governability.
Okay.
If there is no governance in both the civilian and the security agencies, then it cannot go away. That is why we call for core patriotism.
Okay.
The cardinal truth is that we must go back to the core values. To the core values as enshrined in the Constitution. I think chapter 21 or chapter 2 or 21 or thereabout. Section 21. Chapter 2, section 21.
23.
Section 23 or thereabout. Emphasizing the core value, about 7 of them.
Yes. Yeah.
And if we imbibe by these values, there is no way this country cannot move forward. And that is why our motto is simply moving Nigeria to greatness.
Yeah.
So there must be patriotism.
Okay, I'd like to take on a comment from Mrs. Rosemary Abeha. Thank you for streaming live with us. She said the security personnel in Nigeria should be well trained and also improvement in their salary structure to curb security challenges for peace to reign. Are we talking about salaries for our security operatives?
I think
as a way of motivation?
I think I said it when
yes,
you talk about I mentioned it that there should be an improvement in their welfare. And when I talk about welfare, I'm talking about even salaries.
Okay.
You can imagine maybe a soldier or policeman collecting less than 100,000, and they put their life online for us. They stay in the bush. You see, some of them will stay in the bush for months. They will not see their family. Okay? I think they should improve. And if you see where some of these barracks where military men stay, it's appalling. They need to improve it.
Yeah.
It will motivate them. Okay. It will motivate them. That's why when I talk about people, some persons being driven by their pockets because they felt they don't have enough. If you pay them well and they misbehave, you fire them.
Yeah. Okay.
When you fire them, somebody collecting money will collecting good money. When you fire, the other people will learn their lessons.
Okay.
So we need to improve. I said it. We need training, just like my colleague also emphasized. We need training and retraining and better arms to face this. Not you are facing an armed robber. He carry a better weapon than you. Won't you? So they need to. Yes, I mean it.
Yeah.
They need to do it.
Okay.
And let me take a little back. We talk about security agencies. The law enforcement agencies, meaning the security agencies and other law enforcement agencies, sometimes the way they treat, they allow criminals to go free, no justice. I think it also creates, an avenue, a climate of impunity for other people to also do the same thing. It creates impunity. If you do something and nothing is done, the next person will do more. So our security agency should also sit up. There should be justice in the land. If there is justice, it will also reduce conflicts.
Okay, let's take one more comment. I have Vader together. Thank you for streaming live with us. It says peace has more to do with the enthronement of social justice than the absence of conflict. The yearning socio-economic disconnect innate in the soul of the Nigerian state as currently operated makes it laughable to wish conflict away. Pursue justice and peace will follow naturally. That's from Together. We agree with that. From Gold in Female, it says our society is currently filled with all sorts of problems, conflicts and violence just for no reason other than greed and wrong interest. We have talked about that, Mr. talked about that. And to end this problem, the people need to be given the right orientation. Is with help to change our attitudes from negative position to the positive. People should be able to stand for the truth and what is right to ensure a better society. Yes, each and every one of us. There's need for reorientation. Informa Obele says there should be discipline from home to encourage or minimize conflict. And I have also from Iwarilama Brown, he says at times some elements in the security agencies sponsor the crisis so that they will consult them and release funds to them. There are so many comments coming in, so many. Now I would like to ask, just briefly, how can conflict be resolved?
For me, you see, the best way to resolve conflict is through dialogue.
Okay.
Through dialogue.
Okay.
Wars don't ever settle conflicts.
Okay.
Because you see, if when people even fight, at the end of the day, they come back to the round table for negotiation. So why did you decide to fight first before coming to the round table? So dialogue should be encouraged. Okay? And as National Orientation Agency, we encourage alternative dispute resolution, ADR, where people, you spend less money, less time, there will be happiness, no acrimony, no bad blood. Instead of going to the court, where you spend more money. I know of a case in my community, a chieftaincy case in my community, that took the parties involved 17 years. And when you talk about 17 years, so much money was involved, people died, there was crisis, sometimes they will fight, and all that. But if you adopt the AGR, it saves money and time. So we encourage people in National Agency, we encourage people to adopt AGR. Okay. But if you don't want to adopt it, it's better to go to court than to resort to self-help. What I mean by self-help is carrying arms to settle your problem. Okay. And I also think that those things that keep us, those things that cause conflict should be, we should avoid them. Okay. Like in leadership, our leaders should be transparent, they should be honest, and apart from that, you see, over the years, our core values have been eroded. And thank God, in our constitution, we have the national core values entrenched in our constitution. Chapter 2, section 23 of our 1999 constitution has amended values of patriotism, discipline, integrity, religious tolerance, dignity of labor, self-reliance, and all these things. If we imbibe these cultures, I think conflict in our society will be drastically reduced.
Okay. One last word from you, Dr. Peter Memejuru.
Well, the last one is that conflict is not a good, it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good, and so it should be totally avoided. Just like one of the watchers there mentioned, we should embrace social justice, and and avoid avoid violence in its ramification, because when a society is in conflictual situation, there is a total disconnect in all sectors, and then we are losing totally area of sustainable development.
Okay, one last word from you, Doctor.
Well, I think the dialogue aspect must be looked into.
Okay.
No matter how fight, they must come to the round table. So I think it's better we always come to the round table than fight.
Okay. Now we have a comment from Mrs. Rosemary Abihat. He says, I want to add that the federal government should do the same thing they did for our teachers. Nationwide, for our security personnel, it will go on to motivate. Okay.
They already had it.
Yeah.
They have their sometimes
Are we calling for another one?
No, last year or thereabouts.
They have their salary.
All we are going to ask is that the federal government, if they have not implemented, it should be so implemented.
Okay, so also from Informa says, leaders should be honest to boost the confidence of our people. Our leaders should be honest. So thank you, viewers. We cannot exhaust this topic today. So we are going to take it on again next week. We are going to bring to you the ways we can resolve conflicts and the role of the different stakeholders in this. So thank you for streaming live with us today. Remember, this program is streamed live every Friday on Facebook, and the time is 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And all you need to do to connect with us is to go to Facebook, search for NOA River State, click on the like button, and you are all done. I'd like to say thank you to my studio members. Thank you for your input into this. And thank you, viewers, for streaming live with us today. Thank you. We're so sorry for those that will not read their comments. We'll take it up again next week, Friday. Thank you. Remember, COVID-19 is real. Stay safe, take responsibility, do the right thing, transform Nigeria. This is NOA River State.